Following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Miles the Monster had an appetite this past weekend in the Trucks, O'Reilly Series, and the Cup Series, but his appetite's not done. He wants more. He'll have more tonight. The Cup Series for area is back at the Monster Mile in the first state of Dover, Delaware, and we are here live, ready to crown another winner in the Area Cup Series. Will it be Van Drugman looking for his 5th win of the year? Only time will tell here. Live from Dover, Delaware. Holy cow, what a facility that was this past weekend. I'll get into that in a minute, but Hunter Sluppy here joining me in the booth tonight. Corey Silva and Brad Dalton's in the truck. Good evening, gentlemen. How's everything going?
Well, looking forward to it. Dover has been a really fun race to watch here on the simulator, and with a full field of area drivers, I think we're in for a show. And unlike the real world, we're racing for points, and we're racing very close and setting ourselves up for the run to the chase.
It's going to be a fun race. We don't have too many races left. This is race number 8 on the season, including today. Only 5 races until the chase begins. We have Darlington, Daytona Road Course, Kansas, and Talladega after tonight. And right now, Van Drugman's been in the class of the field. He's won the most races. He won his 4th race of the season last weekend at Indianapolis. However, James Scioli leads the point standings here by a good, well, I'd say a good margin. It's 9 points. It's even less with Jake Nichols, who still is looking for his first win. By the way, Scioli and Nichols, top 2 in points, have yet to record a win on the season. Then you get down to Seth Knoll, who dropped a few spots in the standings a week ago, 4th in the standings, and 5th is Connor Horn. Still looking for his first win of the season, but consistency is what matters, and actually still looking for his first top 5, but his 5 top 10s on the year, keeping him 5th in the point standings. Logan Helton, John Forbes, Jared Talmadge, Drew Jua, and Michael Curhan currently round out the top 10 in the point standings. Then the 2 wild cards currently being held by Reese Schaefer, and we actually have a tie between Frankie Barroso and Jacob Harberts. Frankie Barroso only 1 top 10 on the year, but his average finish is keeping him in clutchness, I should say, with the chase that is going on. But we have about a minute and a half left in qualifying. Corey, let's see who's got the fastest time here at the Monster Mile.
Absolutely. Right now, as we pull up preliminary lap times here, still about a minute and a quarter to race here. Looks like Alex McCullum is going to be top of the board thus far, 22,688. And then you got Adam Cabot. Philip Groner, great spot for him. And then four-time trying to go for 5. I mean, there's some baseball teams that don't have as good of a record as Van Drugman when it comes to wins this season. So he is obviously going for that here today. And we do have a large field, Hunter. We'll wait for the final call, but we have, I believe, 44 drivers here, if I could do math. So there will be someone or some people not making the show tonight.
Yeah, someone will be going home, but Alex McCollum, I really haven't been in the booth lately for the Cup Series, but this is his second Cup start from what I can tell. He finished 16th last week at Indianapolis, so second race in, he's currently got the fastest time to tame the monster, although Kwame Scott with an identical lap to Adam Cabot will slot in third. Good to see Kwame back in area. Dylan Ault, top 5 as well. I know that he's had a rough start to the season, but trying to get himself back in the right direction, up 7 spots from a week ago in the point standings, finished runner-up to Van Drugman. He's still got some ground to make up before we get to the chase beginning, but if he keeps it up, he'll be in a good spot.
Absolutely the case here as qualifying will tick to a close. And of course, we want to thank everyone tuning in here to PTR TV on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button here. Help us out here on the channel. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button and you could consider subscribing. $5 a month gets you double points custom emotes, and you can redeem those you can redeem those double points to get yourself some free Studio Temporary rebranded merch here. But we'll tick down to warm up here, which sometimes we run through, sometimes we don't. We'll see what admin decides to give the call. But you had a hot day yesterday, Hunter. Let's see what they're dealing with here on the virtual Dover Motor Speedway.
Yeah, this past weekend it was pretty warm, to say the least. I'd say the air temp is about the same that it was for the O'Reilly Series on Saturday, but yesterday, the Cup race, it was scorching hot. It got to the mid-80s, and sun was out for most of the time. So they'll get some cloud cover today. Track temp at 97 degrees, and yeah, I'm not sure how exactly this is going to race because there's no virtual tire dragging, but these guys are venturing up near the wall. Saw that happen a couple times yesterday. Ty Gibbs ran the Larson group up in... Will he?
Yeah. So on PTR TV, we covered... now, mind you, the echelon of the SOF is a little bit lower, but the next gens here at Dover, we had the winning pass being made on a driver doing the rim ride and cutting it off, getting that run off the corner. You could see all that rubber going down. You could see about 3 drivers hit the wall. That'll be a recurring theme, but absolutely, Hunter, someone is going to win this race, and I think they're going to be doing the rim ride line to do it.
Yeah, that happened a couple times this past weekend. I'm surprised it didn't happen more often. Guys bouncing off the wall, coming out of turn 2 and turn 4. Happened more so on turn 4 rather than turn 2, but definitely going into the corner, it's going to be a challenge. Saw some guys get wicked loose, and that's just with aero. In the real world, I'm not sure how that is in the sim, but yeah, through 3 and 4, we see the marbles that are forming up top already. Ty Gibbs ran up there yesterday a few times, and he actually cut a tire from doing that, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen in the sim or not, but we're going to get our starting lineup rolling and going to be on for a fun 150-lap event.
Absolutely. Our Central Mobile Home starting lineup. If you're looking for a new home, a new shed, Triple Crown trailer, look no further than Central Mobile Homes, proudly serving Florida customers for 30 years with a plethora of small, large home floor plan shed designs and Triple Crown trailers. Head to LaBelle, Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring, CentralMobileHomesInc.com for more info. But let's head down trackside and give you that starting lineup. Alex McCullum with a 22,688. Our pole sitter, Adam Cabot, to his outside. Kwame Scott, he DNQ'd a few weeks ago, but he is here and ready to rear tonight with Philip Groner to his outside. Dylan Ault in 5th with Jake Nichols still trying to break that goose egg. He's going to do it from the 6th spot. 7th, we'll find the likes of Van Drugman. Can he go for 5? Let's see. With Michael Curhan there in 8th, rounding out the top 10, Gavin Rogers and Jacob Harberts.
That's the first 5 rows, and then the next 5 rows, starting with James Scioli in 11th, Jeremy Miller in 12th. Kind of a home race for Jeremy Miller. Rocky Boyd 13th, Douglas Dubig 14th in the number 71 car. 15th, we'll find Seth Knoll. 16th will be Liam Sheen. Good starting spot for those guys. And David Brown will start 17th in the 83. Sebastian Marin deep in the field. I'd consider this deep in the field. 18th for the 66 car. Got some ground to make up. Drew Jua, 19th in the number 96 car. And the 3 of Tyler Nichols will roll off 20th.
And we have John Forbes 21st. Connor Horn in 22nd with Travis Beckdar, Hendry County Flagman in 23rd. Hayden Swank going to roll off P24. The Moose, Patrick Moose in 25th with Frankie Barroso. Remember, he's tied right on that cut line. He's in 26th. Max Service 27th. Jarrett Tallmadge in 28th. He's in that top 10 and that top chase lineup. Cole Hooper in the Alaskan Assassin. Justin Anisogak in 30th. And we'll let the rest of them scroll through because we do have 2 DNQs. Zach Nerney missing his first race of the season, as well as Christian DeBoer.
Yeah, unfortunate that we had some guys that had to go home. But this will give us a full field for tonight. 43 cars going to make the start. And pit road here, it's very tight. It's very challenging getting on the pit road, but pit road as a whole itself, very tight to get on, very tight to get out. They'll be threading the needle under yellow. I'm assuming we'll have a yellow at some point tonight. It's Dover. Under 50 laps, we're going to have some yellows at some point, but it's going to be tight getting in and out of pit road, so guys might bump into each other. We might see that a little bit. And Dover as a whole, yeah, we're going to get some yellows. We usually average 7 yellows here. We've gone to overtime twice. The average of the last caution is with 10 to go. Something we did not see in the All-Star race yesterday for the Cup Series. A late yellow. It was a nice long green flag run. It was about 48 laps, maybe 50, but couple overtimes. So be on the verge, or be on the lookout, I should say, for that late yellow to come out.
We'll see what happens. The trends of the race course, as you alluded to, we don't have the resin down, but we don't need it because the groove has been quite variant across all the weeks here in iRacing, all the SOFs, all the races we've seen. So I expect that to be the case. Our race details, again, as they traditionally are, 100% fuel load, 4 sets of Goodyears, and I think those will come into play. No backup car, fixed setup, and of course green, white checkers. As you alluded to, cautions do come into play here, hopefully not overcome. You did see the 16, the 88, and the 98, only 3 EOLs, so our starting lineup here today, Hunter, very much intact, unlike a few weeks in the past.
Very much so, and I think we'll have a bit of a chaotic start to go out with this one. I'm not sure if we'll get a yellow immediately after completing a lap like yesterday's Cup race, but just be on the lookout for the exits of turn 2 and turn 4. We've already seen a couple times in practice guys trying to flirt with the edge of the wall, and it's like going up and down a roller coaster, getting through the turns and exiting, so it's going to be very challenging for these guys tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see what Miles the Monster has in store with Alex McCullum and Adam Cabot rolling off from P1 and 2. The control car, the 10 to the inside. Round number 8 here at Dover, the Monster Mile. 150 laps. Who is going to get tame the monster? We'll find out. Green in the air. Someone peeling off to the inside off the opening get-go. But we'll fire off into turn 1.
Adam Cabot already trying to look 3 wide on the outside. He'll have a big enough lane to get there, although they'll back out of it for the meantime. But it's door-to-door with Kwame Scott on the inside, and the car that was off the pace, it was the 47. I'm not sure if that was calculated or not, but nonetheless, we have a leader on lap 1, and I do believe that is Alex McCollum in the 10.
And there are marbles aplenty. This track was not cleaned off. It did not reset. It didn't rain, so this track is exactly as it finished, and these marbles are aplenty. That'll be interesting to see if that in any way affects the drivers changing their lanes here. But you have Michael Curhan to the outside, Jacob Harberts to the inside in that purple car, and then Van Drugman, 4-time there, not in terms of championships, in terms of race wins. looks as though, Hunter, that outside lane, even early in the race, may be the preferred passing opportunity.
Yeah, yesterday it was the preferred line as you got later into the run, although unless you were Denny Hamlin, your car could just go anywhere. But it seems like Van Jugman's got that outside lane rolling for the time being. Sebastian Marin right behind him. We were looking out for that 66 car. He started deep in the field in 18th. He's already up to the top 10. He's up to 7th, passing Jacob Harbertson to 80. Jeremy Miller in the back. We saw him there venturing out towards the outside lane. It's kind of like a home track for him from New Jersey, so it's a close drive for him, about an hour and a half if I had to presume, like it was for me. But he's trying to get around. Jacob Harbert's on the inside now, and Marin going around the 24 of Curran on the outside lane down the back and in 30.
Now, not sure if anything, personal or hardware or something, but Dylan Alt is out of the race, off the track, and done with. So he pulled to the inside, leading to believe maybe some hardware failure, maybe some, personal situation. We'll maybe get some insight to that, but that is hurtful for that. Lap 3, we do have an incident between the 98 and the 09 that Adam's going to be taking a look at. That's with Liam Sheen. Remember, Liam
in the 09.
Yeah, and Liam didn't have the best of starting opportunities. He was 16th, so, but he was also one of the EOL drivers. So his race has gone from bad to worse, and hopefully he doesn't get hit by the old admin there. But Kwame Scott, part-time driver this season. I can't remember exactly how many times he's raced this season, but 2 as a matter of fact as it was. I know Daytona, he was doing phenomenal on the Daytona in the Area 500 until Daytona did Daytona things, but he did have 1 DNQ that I remember, but obviously he has Dover down, no pun intended, because he is making some headway towards McCollum.
Yeah, it's starting to pick him up on that outside lane, and that was really a key factor in yesterday's race, but it's going to be a key factor in tonight's race as well. The longer we run, the more wide the groove is going to get, so guys are going to venture higher and higher until they can't, and they get rung up in the marbles. Meanwhile, Gavin Rogers, Jacob Harbert's having a battle for the 9th position. Rogers going to get that spot for the time being. Harbert's in 10th. Tyler Nichols, not too far behind in the number 3 car. He's in the 11th spot.
And of course, Dover, one of these tracks. Now, I don't think we mentioned this, as I just saw some major impact to the wall. I think it was a blue car. May have been Cole Hooper, not sure. But this is unlike any Dover race area has put on here in the Next Gen era, because it is with the 750 horsepower package as well as the minimal diffuser. It is the short track package. So that will create a little more separation as the driver has a little more control. Perhaps
Ryan
not
Swan to the inside wall.
Yeah, he doesn't have much control right now. That 20, our Blue Tip Pool Builder, is one of our sponsor cars. I promise Blue Tip Pool Builders will treat your property better than Ryan has treated that vehicle. Did he get help? We'll get one more perspective, or was that Arrow? Yeah, that was Arrow. That rear air grief, as I think the kids call it these days.
Yeah, and then he slid down that 9 degrees of banking on the straightaways. That really comes at you in a hurry, because you're not really expecting, whoa, holy cow, Gavin Rogers trying to hold on to that. He's been on the move up. He's up to 7th now, sliding in front of Jeremy Miller. But that 9 degrees, you don't really quite get a feel for it until you're on the verge of spinning out, or indeed spinning out. But could be very challenging for these guys, and especially with that inside wall back there. If they hit it, they could go careening back up into the field despite the 9 degrees of banking there. So something to keep an eye on throughout the night. Sebastian Marin as well. Need to keep an eye on him, trying to power on the outside, get close enough to Van Drongman to get around him. It's 5th and 6th on the racetrack for these two guys.
Yeah, as you were alluding to, as he goes to the inside of the track, which hasn't been the preferred lane, but there is grip to be found. The grip will change depending on the lane usage and such. He'll fall back in line, but Dover always has been called a self-cleaning track, because as you said, Hunter, the banking never really goes away, even on the straightaways. But the problem with Dover, and we saw it in Indianapolis last week, Hunter, is when this track clogs up, it clogs up. There's no way to go. We have seen huge big ones. You were a witness to it in the real world yesterday.
Yeah, had a good view of Ryan Priest smacking that wall and catching fire with about 8 other guys spinning out, and then the other one late in the going of that first segment. Quite absurd to watch them all go careening out of control. And yeah, they spin out on the front stretch, and then they just can't help it. They lose control of the banking, slides them down into the wall, and then they go back up into the field, collect more cars. So something we might see tonight, although we're having a very calm start. A lot more calm than what I was expecting, but Alex McCollum leading the way as we're looking at the 83 of David Brown with Newbingen going by.
And he was just using that high lane. You were curious if that high lane would come into play. Well, David Brown was making it happen, and then a little bit further up, Sebastian still trying to get by Van Drugman, but the opportunity is here, Hunter, for these drivers to get that clean air with these different lanes, and it does make passing a little easier than in years past, where you can literally go from the apron to the wall and try to get some air on the nose.
Yeah, it's going to be really challenging, though, when these guys encounter lap traffic. It's going to bring a lot of dirty air, not a whole lot of places for these guys to go and make a move, especially on corner exit. It's going to be real tough. Kwame Scott, though, keeping tough with Alex McCollum as we're looking through. So after review with Liam Sheen and Bryce Senesac, they deemed it Liam Sheen's fault, so he has 2 incident points to his name. Was also going to say Bryce Senesac's out of the race.
Now, in a second, I think I may be able to figure out what happened there. We'll take a look at it in a jiffy, but we do have, or a Skippy, depending on your flavor of peanut butter. But Kwame Scott right to the rear deck lid of Alex McCollum. But again, now he's going right in that same arrow wake, picking the same lane. That's not going to be advantageous. Adam Cabot just behind. Let's take a look at the last lap times here. And McCollum in that clean air, about a 10th and a half faster than Kwame. And very spread out. I'm not going to dare say anything, Hunter, but again, a completely different vibe. Remember the Cup race last week. Actually, you weren't here for the Cup race. But the Cup race last week was caution-free. I'm not going that far yet, but a very good start to today's race at Dover.
Yeah, a lot more calm than what I was expecting, but...
Dover slider. Don't see that one very often.
No, that's extremely rare, especially through the turn. But Sebastian Marin is now up into the top 5. Van Drugman down into the 6th position, trying to find something on the bottom.
Now, I don't want to... I'm going to preface that I don't know if this is accurate or not, but we're going to see. Oh, it's accurate.
Wow.
We'll get one more look at that from the blimp cam here. Yeah, I think that was Liam down to the inside in that black car with a very aggressive 3-wide move, and I don't think Kazi was fully aware of it, and I think he got just as bad as... Well, it wasn't Kazi, it was another orange vehicle, but either way, that was the incident in question, and it did go to the fault of the 98.
All right, interesting to note as we're looking through about to be 25 laps in on our current run. Lap times have tapered off quite a bit, anywhere from about 7 or 8 tenths of a second to a full second for some guys. 24 second lap times from McCollum, Scott, Cabot, Nichols, Sebastian Marin, a 23.92, 23.98 from Van Drugman. So time to start to taper off here as James Skyley's starting to work his way up towards the top 10. One spot, actually no. I had that backwards. He's working his way outside the top 20. He started near the top 10, but has fallen 11 spots at the start of this one.
Now that is very unlike him, but Solar Flare teammate, I'll get that right this week. That's Jake Nichols, who is under fire from, take a guess at who it is, Sebastian Marin. Of course, Marin did get by Van Drugman with that little slide job of sorts. He'll go to the inside now. He won't be able to slide because there's no room with Adam Cabot there. Or hold my beer, he went for it anyways.
It looked like he was about to get a twofer there with Adam Cabot, but Cabot will prevail for now. I'll have to take a look at a replay of that. That was amazing.
I mean, I just said there was no space to fit in there, and Sebastian, well, that logo's not supposed to be there, but we'll still leave it up in honor for this replay. Of course, Dan Peatfish from last week. Yeah, he didn't actually clear, but he did enough to make it and fit that gap. So that was impressive. I mean, leave it to very few people other than Sebastian Marin to be able to do that.
And that puts Marin up to the 4th position, and he is up 14 spots since the start of this one. One of the biggest movers of the race, the biggest of the race, being David Weishart in the number 29. He is in 20th right now, but he's up 20 spots since the start of this one. As much as he hates racing this car sometimes, he really knows how to navigate his way through the field. So he's not really the last to first chance because we have a full field tonight, but 40th to 20th, that's pretty good in 30 laps of racing at Dover.
Absolutely, fully under green flag conditions. That one was so impressive about Sebastian Marin last week is he had an EOL at Indianapolis, a track very hard to pass in this car, and drove up to a top 5 with no cautions to help him. And he didn't start where he normally does, which is P1 or 2. He started 18th, and he's driven up 14, maybe 15 spots purely on his own pace. But Alex McCollum has led this whole race. Kwame has kind of come in ebbs and flows. He'll gain time, lose time. Now you can see the variance in lanes there. Let's see if he can get the run off the top. Watch that gap go down on the ticker. He's there, but now he's going to find the way by. That's the hard part. Well, Alex has some connectivity issues.
Yeah, as the leader's blinking in and out, Kwame Scott trying to get advantage of that, trying to go to the bottom. McCollum will run the outside, get the run, try to prevail, as Cabot's also trying to do the same, but get closer to the wall. Door to door for the lead down the straightaway. Scott will head in the line and try to get underneath the 10 again. Very close there coming out too.
He's trying to get where he can maybe get side draft a little bit, dump some air on the very small spoiler, which that used to be more effective back in the day to get a guy loose. So we have seen aero loose become a thing. That's what sent, I think there was somebody around earlier, couldn't quite remember who it was, but back to the top of the track and to see if he can get that run off of 2. Maybe not as much as he'd like.
Gonna have a good shot of it here for 3 and 4. Van Drugman into the top 5. Almost. Jake Nichols fighting back on the outside lane. Wow.
Just running out of real estate here. Oh, here we go. Kwame, if he can get to the right rear, it's game over for the time being. Now, Alex, all right, here we go. Dover slider. Let's see. Can he get up and clear? Will McCollum cross over?
Absolutely. He's got a good run out of 4. He's going to send it down into 1 and 2. Scott will lead that time through, but the next one, not for sure. Really fighting on that outside lane. He'll have the run to stay door to door with McCollum in 3.
Yep, this is now the position that he needs to be in. And for Kwame, unless the 10 can do the diver, which is what Kwame did, but if he can get the run off the corner, eventually he should clear. A little bit of contact there as they run out of space, but he, number 1, new leader, number 36, and let's see if he can pull any gap, because that 66 in the 4th spot, he is hungry and he is charging as we are 37 laps through. Green flag conditions all throughout this race here, as now here comes Sebastian and Cabot looking to get through the 10. We have a 3-car battle for P2.
Yeah, Cabot was trying to run the outside line there, but McCollum took it from him. Sebastian Marin going below the 17. He's getting way close to the wall in 1 and 2. Nearly hit it mid-corner. He'll get the run to stay in front of Marin for the time being. 3 and 4, he's going to run that outside groove as well. Marin kind of in the middle of the racetrack, trying to get some sort of clean air on the nose of that 66. And Jake Nichols had a wonky exit out of turn 4. I'm not sure what happened there. Or it might have been just really, really low. I thought he was on the apron, but he lost a good bit of time compared to where he once was a lap ago.
Yeah, now over 2 seconds back, near 3 seconds back, and we're getting to that point where the fall off is about a second. It's not as bad as we've seen, but it still is quite significant here, as still green flag all the way up to the wall. I mean, that is pushing the boundaries nobody has run yet, and that's making it really hard for Sebastian, because he does lose that momentum off of the exit of the corner. But here we go a little bit further back. Van Drugman under fire from Jake Nichols, who's trying to bottom wrap. And then just behind that, Gavin Rogers and Jeremy Miller, as again, we are really separated through, really spread through. And you know what? I ain't complaining.
Very interesting to see this from Dover. We usually don't get green flag runs like this often. Again, it's usually yellows that take their part here, but the racing has been awesome to watch as Marin's going to send it deep to get around McCullum, who has fallen to the 4th spot. So Cabot's up to 2nd, Marin up to 3rd, McCullum down to 4th. There, Jugman holding the top 5 spot, and it's single file parade for the most part. And there's the lap car of Ryan Swan that might play a factor, bring a little dirty air to Kwame Scott, could reel the 2nd and 3rd place drivers into the battle.
Now you just saw on that shot, and we'll try to pull it up on this next time through, the marbles and how aggressive they are on that outer lane. And that certainly is, you know, you don't see anybody that high on exit. They got to pull it down there because those marbles will get on the tires, as here's Sebastian again to the inside and not going for that diver. I wonder if there's just not enough tire life left. He doesn't have the confidence to be able to successfully do that dive bomb he did a few times.
I'll have a look at it here in the 3. Going to be close enough to get alongside the 17. Actually, not quite, not from the air. He'll settle back in the line, but Kwame Scott in the meantime trying to drive away from these twos, build up a 7 to 8 of a second gap between himself and Cabot and Marin. Are going door to door, and again that 20 of Ryan Swan is looming closer and closer to the leader of Scott. Have to take a look at the lap times here and see if it's going to affect him at all. Gave a little dirty air to the nose of that 36, and there's actually a couple more drivers to see. Jacob Bell back there, Brent Pukari, guys are going to be next in line to go a lap down. Actually, it's just Jacob Bell. Pukari is, I believe, in the 3 and 4 right now.
Yeah, so they have running about 25 seconds around this track, so about 3 seconds to Swan and about 5 seconds to 5-6 seconds or so to everybody else, as Sebastian just cannot manage to get by Adam Cabot. He's just doing a masterful job, and that top of the racetrack, cooler concrete, a little bit more grip on offer, the bottom all rubbered up and slick, so you do just lose that opportunity. If we do get a caution flag, you will see the rubber come up. The tires will pick up the rubber, and that will give a little bit of temporary life to the bottom, but with 40-plus cars running the way they are, this place is certainly hot. Let's see if the track temp has gone up at all. It has. I think we were about 100 or so?
No, it was below. It was like 97 before, and it's gone up almost 15 degrees since the start of this one. Shows just how slick it is, and these guys are trying to get more maneuverability around this race course, as we see Hayden Swank in the 00. Running in the 30th spot. I think it's Luke Bradshaw in front of them. They're doing battle, but even throughout the field, there's still battles galore.
And this is just the one. Oh, here he goes. He has enough tire life. He has enough confidence. He did the Dover diver. I guess that's what we'll call it, the Dover diver. As Cabot to the inside, he'll do a crossover. He's a little too far back to consider making his own surge at it, as McCullum, remember, he led the opening 25 or so laps, but falling back, and there's Ryan Swan separating Kwame and now Sebastian, who is P2.
Jacob Bell heading down the pit road, looking a little further back. Michael Curran holds that top 10 spot. Right in front of him is David Brown in the 83, having a solid day as well. Jacob Harbert's in 11th on his own. This Curran's going to look to the inside of Brown, trying to clear him for 9th, and he will. Looking out the back and see if Brown has anything for the 24.
And he will not, but we do have McCullum going for a run on Adam Cabot. Adam Cabot, a very hard one to pass. Now here comes Van Drugman into the play. He has entered the chat, trying to make a stab at it. Of course, he is going to need to find a little bit of something here if he wants to try to go for win number 5 on the season, but still early in the race. 1/3 distance. I mean, didn't have green flag pit stops on my bingo card here today, Hunter, but I don't think we really have any of the analytics to what to expect, but I'd estimate 80, 85 laps, somewhere in that ballpark.
Well, I mean, the only thing we can really go off of is, we're going to touch here. It's McCollum and Drugman, 4th and 5th. But the only thing to really go off of is what happened with the All-Star qualifying, because these guys are having to get woed down from race speed to about 35 or 40 mile an hour, whatever pit road speed is. But it's very tough. 24 degrees of banking in the corners. It's going to be real tough on these guys, as I believe Aaron Drugman might have scraped along. Also, good look at the new tires on Jacob Bell in the 6. It's like you're on easy mode whenever you have newer tires, so he's just going to be able to fly through the field. And this battle for 4th will not die. Drugman on the inside and McCollum trying to scoot by on the outside.
Dover diver, and it'll work. And then the crossover will get you there, but actually no, he lost it on exit. I was going to say he might have enough charged up for his own attempt at it there, but just because we are chugging along through in this broadcast, do want to talk about some of our partners here with Area. There's Ryan Swan and the Blue Tip Pool Builders Mustang. Of course, you can head to bluetippools.com. They can bring some life to your party. They can spice up your pool to your aesthetic with their skilled craftsmen and cutting-edge tech. They can also do outdoor kitchen areas, dynamic lounging, and the sort. Check them out at bluetippools.com. Again, Ryan Swan did have an issue earlier in the race, but has recovered and chugging along just fine.
Doing a good job there, and also chugging along, as actually we're going to hold off on that because this top 10, or outside the top 10, battle's still heating up. David Brown's down to 12th now. Seth Knoll trying to find his way through the field. Hasn't really gone anywhere. It's gone up a couple of spots now. It's just past the 83 of David Brown. Dubing is up to 11th. Harberts is in the top 10 now. A couple guys back there. Jua, Connor Horn. Haven't mentioned about them in the race so far, but Jua's trying to get a look underneath David Brown. Connor Horn as well. And then one car behind him, that is Jared Talmadge in the 07.
On board with Connor Horn, who's looking in the middle there, and that would have been a scary opportunity, and luckily thought better of it. Jua in the wall causes a checkup. David Brown had to back off. That might open the door for Connor. He'll at least get David Brown and nearly got Jua. But then you also have Jared Talmadge there in that 07 ready to party as well. This is some tight racing, about 12th on back.
Yeah, then further back, right around the 20th spot, actually 20th right now, Travis Beckner only up 3 positions since the start of this one, but giving it his all as the flagman of the Hendrick County Motorsports Park, in which you can join them on June 6th. They've got a bit of an off week. Now they had some racing over this past weekend, but they have a few weeks off in between. June 6th they'll return with open wheel modifieds, VA Warriors, and more. Tickets are $20 for adults with discounted prices for seniors, teens, and kids ages 5 and under are in for free. Come see racing at the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off U.S. Highway 27. Visit HendryRacing.com for more info. A bit of a calm day for Travis Beckner in the 28. I think we'll start to see his aggression level ramp up not only in the night's race, but throughout the next couple days of racing here for the trucks on Tuesday and Pro Series on Thursday. Green flag pit stops with Gavin Rogers. He was near the top 10 and inside the top 10 at one point, but could this open the door, Corey, for more guys to come down?
Well, I mean, we're just shy of halfway, so I mean, we're down, what is it? We'll just reference it with Kwame Scott, who is still a skosh faster than Sebastian Marin. And now some of that could be traffic, but let's just look at his best to last situation here, and he is just shy of a second off. So, you know, every lap on the track, you're going to lose a second to drivers who've already pitted. It's not the biggest delta, so I wouldn't completely adjust my strategy unless perhaps it's second or third place. You don't want to get undercut by the guy you're battling.
Especially these two right here, McCollum and Jungman still. Jungman's going to hit the wall out of 2. 2 still battling, although I think McCollum's driving away. And here is Cole Hooper coming down the pit road. Some more guys coming down and making their first pit stops of the night.
Jacob Bell, talked about him. He pitted a while back. Not the best day for the boss man, but trying to salvage what he can as Sebastian Marin is lurking in the rears. But this is an awkward situation, too, for Jacob Bell. Of course, he doesn't want to interrupt the flow of the race, doesn't want to interrupt the battle for the win, the lead. But he also has his own race to run, and he knows he's faster, so he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah, he's going to pull off and let Sebastian Marin go. Didn't want to be a thorn in his side, give him any dirty air. So that's going to open the door for Marin to close the gap even more on Kwame Scott. And especially, you saw those gaggle lap cars that are just up the road, I think, about 4 or 5 seconds in front of them.
This is heavy traffic.
Quite a bit of traffic that's coming up for Kwame and Sebastian Marin as more guys are going in and out of pit road.
There's Travis, just talked about him. He's going to pull in the pit road. Now, here's my strategy. If I'm Kwame Scott, I pit the either A, once Sebastian gets to my rear bumper, which might be in a few laps, or B, when I hit that traffic. Because I don't want to fight the traffic, and I also want to beat Sebastian into the pits. So I think right now, the more important decision lies in Kwame's hands than it does for Sebastian. I think Sebastian might have the overall speed to chug by on the long run, but if you can get that extra second, that might just be the buffer you need.
Yeah, although this is a little tricky as we're nearing halfway in the race. Just trying to make your pit stop and finding the right time to do it. Seth Knoll is just flying through this top 10 now, trying to get into the top 5, but yesterday in the All-Star race, we had a yellow literally right as green flag pit stops were starting. It's going to trap some guys 1 or 2 laps down, could derail the race. So you always got to worry about that whenever you're making your pit stop. As I think Douglas Newbegin tapped the wall coming out of turn 4. But Van Drugman was trying to march towards the top 5. He has fallen off a cliff. Off a rock, I should say. Cliff would be even worse, but I would expect him to make a pit stop sometime soon.
First person to get caught by the speeding police, David Brown, and he was in and around the top 10 area. Here's Van Drugman in. He was on his Alicia Keys mode. He kept on falling, so he decides to head to the pits and try to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, it's getting a little
Jake.
too bad for him.
You can just tell.
Yeah, there's the tough part about it. 24 degrees of banking down to basically none. And it's to that yellow cone right there. I believe the yellow cone is where timing line starts for speeding. So you don't want to do that. Otherwise, you're going to have a longer day at Dover, kind of like what David Brown just did. Because you're already going to go about 2 laps down just from making your green flag pit stop alone at some point. But it's a speed that's going to cost you another lap or 2. So unfortunate there. Kwame Scott continuing to lead. Sebastian Marin continuing to close as the laps continue to wind down here in Dover.
And here is James Scioli, Connor Horn, working his way through on the bottom groove. So who's to say that the top is the only place you could pass? Scioli just drove by on the inside with relative ease, moving at 7. Close to his car number, up in the 7th spot. And Michael Curhan coming in. Harbert's following. I always go back to, I don't remember the year. I want to say it was around 04. Matt Kenseth, I believe it was. He annihilated the pit barrier here. As you said, very difficult place to pit there, Hunter. We've seen mistakes. We've seen speeding. We've seen people miss the pits here. And with a race that may only have 1 pit stop, so much importance. There's something happening with, was that Jacob Bell, that yellow car to the inside?
No, I think Bell is behind Sebastian Marin, but it was another yellow car. Not quite sure who it was, but they were off the pace a good bit.
Bunch of drivers pulling off to the inside and out of the way. We'll appreciate that respect from them. As Josh Caudell, he is registering a black flag, and I think he's coming in to serve at this time by, along with Hayden Swank visiting the pits. Jeremy Miller in, Hayden Swank in. John Forbes visiting the pits, and ain't no way he ain't speeding. We'll wait to see that black flag pop up, but if he makes it, all the power to him.
Connor Horn's made his way down pit road.
Seriously, I'll be floored. But we'll see.
I will be too. I mean, it looked like he was carrying a lot, but we'll have to see in the meantime. Kwame Scott continues to lead. We're past the halfway point in this Dover race. from the Area Cup Series Season 8, race number 8. More guys making their pit stops. Garrett Grant in the 5 coming on down. Have yet to see the first 15 cars come down and make their pit stop. So the top 15 have yet to pit. Everybody else behind them, they've made a pit stop at some point. Again, the 8th race of the season for Area in the Cup Series, and the chase is winding down after today. Only 4 races to go until you lock yourself a spot in the chase and try to go after a championship. So Kwame Scott, although not really going after the championship, just going after wins. Sebastian Marin trying to do the same. Douglas Dubigin coming on the pit road. Corey, more guys are starting to make their way down pit road. I'm not sure if we have a fuel run estimate, but I'm pretty sure you could go about 80 to 90 laps, I want to say, maybe more.
Yeah, we'll see as the stints update and recalculate here. So we still have a myriad of drivers still yet to pit, and that is encompassing our leaders. Now, Kwame he's pulled the legs out here. He's now upwards of 1 1/3 seconds over Sebastian here in this ultra long run. Now, the first driver to pit, we'll have to dig ourselves back to Alex McCullum in 15th. Now, it's going to be important for us to try to figure out where they are in relation to the leader. He is a lap down. He's the first car 1 lap down. Middle of the backstretch. Kwame he is about 1.9 laps down, I believe, if I'm associating that correctly.
Yeah, so total time on pit road, you're going to be in there for about 46 or 47 seconds.
He's like 1.8 laps down, so he has a lot of time to go.
As Scott continues to lead, you'll see more guys go in and out, and this is the absurdity of it all. Guys that are laps down but have fresher tires going to be making their way in and out around the leaders as they go on through. The 63 car, I don't think we've talked about him yet.
Oh no! Sebastian in the pits, and the caution comes out. The Alaskan Assassin. Well, there's not going to be any North Pole vacations for Sebastian, because this is going to trap him at least 1 lap down, probably. Let's see what happened. He had fresher tires. You can see that quite evidently. Who's that blue car? Washed up the track. Max Service? Yes, it was. And then Hayden Swanklin for a ride.
Yeah, that's a tough product about this with Dover, and especially being a lap car on fresher tires, because something like that could just happen so subtly. He just washed it up going out of four.
Curhan, and Harberts. So some residuals as well.
Yeah, some more guys getting damage in there, and first yellow of the day finally happens. I want to say a lap 82, 83, one of those laps, but mentioned about it, came at an inopportune time for Kwame Scott, and that's quite literally what happened yesterday. I want to say to Ryan Blaney. Came down to pit, and then Joey Logano just lost it, or one of the leaders pitted at the wrong time, but good break for Kwame Scott, though.
You're going to see the gap, first and second. That's how much of a gap Kwame has over Noel in terms of getting into the pit. So many drivers will be taking the wave around. Now, Sebastian, as it scores right now, is the first car off the lead lap. I don't know if it's going to allow him to lucky dog here. I don't think it is. I believe that's actually going to Reese Schaefer right now. So Sebastian is going to be one of many taking the old wave around, which is going to have to start tail end of the longest line, tail end of the field, and he will be at a... I guess the blessing is he's not really going to be at a tire detriment. He's just going to be tail end.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this was accurate or not, but it had a meatball for Jujua for some reason. So I was looking on the scoring pylon, but he's down pit road now, so that went away.
Well, let me see if I have the technology. This is where it said there was a trigger on my back-end telemetry that said this was when he received a meatball flag. And I'm going to assume that there was some faux pas in scoring, because nothing happened. So, Drew, you just got public some free airtime. But anywho, I mean, that's just luck of the draw. I mean, it's just the fear that every driver has about pitting under green flag conditions, that the caution is going to come out mid-cycle and it's going to put you in that awkward situation, as we will get one to green right now. But who had made a charge through the field, Hunter? Seth Noel really was in the mid-pack. He was making a massive charge. This may be the opportunity he's been looking for. Now he is right on even keel, even strategy with the race leader.
Yeah, this running order has been shaken up quite a bit. We got James Scioli up here, and he felt like a rock in the first half of that race. Jared Talmadge was mid-pack. Drew Jura. Frankie Barroso mentioned him in a tiebreaker at the moment for the chase. Tyler Nichols, Logan Helton, that's the name that we haven't heard from tonight. Joseph Causey, Brett Puncari, Reese Schaefer, and Sebastian Marin. I think yeah,
12.
You'll see it right there. The first 5 rows are good. Everybody else behind, they took the waiver run. That's why they're all restarting on the bottom. And first restart of the day. Haven't mentioned a restart zone yet, but it's an advantage for the leader, like Kwame Scott. Good takeoff speed. So we're back green at Dover.
And everybody will get fired off. That single file line of wave around cars just increases that gap, that distance that Sebastian and company will need to swallow up. But Kwame doesn't have to take the lead. He has the lead. What will he do with clean air for the duration of the run? Seth Noel, what can he do? Again, clean real estate, even tires to the rest of the field. Best track position he's had, as I see some 3 wide here. These wave rounds trying to make some headway.
Yeah, it's a real influx of lap cars and cars on the lead lap. Schaefer, Marin, and McCollum are the last of those on the lead lap. Everybody else, 14th on down, stuck a lap down. So they're going to be mixing in with those that are fading throughout the cars that are still on the lead lap.
Drivers trying to see what they can do and blend on through the field against some drivers here, kind of running out of their pace range here, but that's where they are just due to the strategy situation. And Frankie Barroso, Tyler Nichols in 7th, Brent Puncari, then Sebastian, who here he is to the outside of Jacob Harberts. This is not for position. Reese Schaefer, this is this for position? Yes, Reese is in 12th, so now Sebastian up to 11th, right behind Jake Nichols. Jake Nichols is, however, 1 lap down.
Yeah, he is unfortunately a lap down in the mayhem of this. I think him and Michael Curran, yes, that is for position for the 15th spot. So race to be the first to lap down, because the yellow could come out at any given moment, and whoever's in 14th will get the wave around or the free pass, unless they're the cause of caution, or part of it in some way, shape, or form. Jeremy Miller also caught a lap down. Him and Harberts and Newbigging right around there, battling for position, getting real close there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, they will fizzle out into back to normal 2 wide situation. Newbigging to the inside. He was one who was caught pitting at an inopportune time here, but as let's go 3 wide again, using all the lanes here at Dover. There's Sebastian making some slicing and dicing moves. These moves are pretty spicy, and what else is spicy is Rick's Hot Sauce. You can head over to rickshotsauce.com. Some of the best hot sauces in South Florida. Lokahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, South Beach Heat, and someone in this race is going to get themselves a $100 Rookie of the Year bonus, courtesy of Rick's Hot Sauce. Again, rickshotsauce.com.
Are continuing to happen. Close single file racing here, but Kwame Scott out by 0.6 of a second over Seth Knoll. This battle for third, though, he ended up between the 7s, the 07 of Jared Talmadge and James Scioli in the 4th position. Drew Jura trying to hold on to the top 5, but Tyler Nichols wants that top 5. They're going to be door to door in close quarters racing out of turn 4. Actually, that is not it's not him. That's Philip Groner. Well, this is what I mean with the lap cars getting in the middle of it. They're going to be with the lead lap cars.
Yeah,
so
Tyler Nichols is 6th. Let's not write him out of this. Yeah. He's on the lead lap. He's doing justice. Just again, we're seeing drivers out of their pace, out of their normality of where they were in the first stage. And One thing I want to put into relation here, Hunter, is the fact that we have 55 laps to go. Kind of sounds like a lot, but this is only about 20 minutes of green flag racing. This race is all but over. So these drivers, such as Sebastian, I mean, he's 4 seconds back in 9th, and he was second going for the lead. So he has not much time to even get back to the top 5.
Yeah, unfortunate there. The weird part about that with the 11, Phil Groner's 2 laps down. So I'm not sure how he's up there with the leaders, because I don't think they caught him.
Oh,
I think he restarted up there, but
we just have a cloud. It just got dark.
Very intriguing to say the least there, but he is right in the middle of James Scioli and Drew Jua, 4th and 5th on the leaderboard. Looking throughout the rest of the field, some great runs for these guys that Connor Brake mentioned. Jared Talmadge currently holding that podium spot. Drew Jua in 5th, good for him. Tyler Nichols as well. Solid top 10 showing for those guys. Frankie Barroso, Joseph Causey, Logan Helton as well as the 24 Michael Curran trying to get around Adam Cabot. That is a valuable position because that's for the lucky dog. And there is Logan Helton in the 63. Very solid move from him, or very solid break, I should say. Currently the biggest mover of the race from that, up 32 spots since the start of the race. That yellow came out at a great time for him. The one of Seth Knoll, mentioned about him, he was running mid-pack, but the yellow came out at an opportune time for him, and now he's all of a sudden in contention for the win. Trying to drive it in on the outside through 1 and 2. Get real close to that wall. I'm not sure if he scraped it, but he's giving Bubba Scott run for his money.
Well, ain't no question about that time. Off turn 2, he's going to drive to the inside. Kept his momentum. Hopefully the toe is not knocked out. The toe link is still in good condition. Driving to the inside, and he is right on that rear deck lid, but it don't matter. We are under our second caution flag, and I don't know if he could wave the flag for himself, but he is the caution.
Well, that puts Adam Cabot on the lead lap now. He's the lucky dog. We'll take a replay on what happened with Travis Spector, him and Hayden Swank.
The old classic who came up, who came down syndrome. Have fun with that, Admin. I'm going to call.
I think he came up because it looked like Beckner was holding his line down the backstretch and maybe just tried to side draft off of him and got a little too close. But meanwhile, pit road is open. More guys are going to come down pit road and take advantage of it.
Now, this is great news for Sebastian. Great news for everybody who was a wave-around driver, because now they can get on even keel. This will be the second set of tires. Still plenty of good years in the pits. But now they can start in their actual positions rather than behind all the lap cars. So this will give us a much more intense battle for the race win here in the waning stages at Dover. Kwame Scott should be able to get out of the pits quickly, but never mind. Seth Noel, is he being cheeky on 2 tires? Survey says yes.
I think Jared Talmadge actually took 4.
Kwame
Scott had a...
he didn't pit.
Kwame Scott... Oh, he did not pit. All right, well, never mind. That's why he's up front, so...
James Scioli as well, also on 2 tires.
That's interesting for the 07 to do, especially the position that he's in. I mean, now that he's the leader, he's up 27 spots at the start of this one, but... I get there's not a lot of cars that are on the lead lap, but I mean, the potential to have the top 5, I'd say, is greater than, well, he's actually not going to pit, so his strategy is just staying out and hoping that the tires aren't too bad. Thinking this is more of a check position race, so we'll see. It's a good strategy, actually. I thought he was going to do one of those where you stay out, lead a lap, come back in, but I guess because of the spot he's in, might as well stay out, try to go for the win, and especially in points. He's 8th in the points. Still has yet to record a top 5 on the year, but 2 top 10s to his name. Not a bad strategy to go on a limb and try.
Now, Hunter, this is where I really want to put out iRacing and to give him a compliment. See how that rubber has come up? That happens on concrete tracks all the time. Those drivers pacing on the bottom of the track, They pulled the rubber up, which means that's going to cause more marbles. But temporarily, while that rubber goes back down, the inside is going to be much more competitive, at least until we put that rubber back down. That is a phenomenal job with the dynamic track system. I got to give credit to iRacing, but here we got to put into fruition here. Tire spin, old tires, hot slick track, late in the race. Everyone's on your toes. Don't count your chickens that we're going to clear this out cleanly. There may be some restart shenanigans here. Let's see if everyone can get on the loud pedal safely here. Jarrett Tallmadge is going to try to get this race restarted. Seth Noel to the outside, and we're wrecking.
Oh, we're wrecking!
Sebastian, no, he got through.
It's a massive pileup going through. The track is blocked. The yellow's back out. Unfortunate what just happened. I saw the 3... Tyler Nichols gets spun around. Frankie Barroso's in it with a black flag. Alex McCollum's got a black flag as well. A lot happened there in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I'll try to... It'll take me a minute, folks, to try to deduce where that stemmed from. We'll just go a little bit further back. Oh, yeah, Tyler Nichols dead sideways, and then, as we talked about, there ain't no... There's nowhere to go at Dover once you wreck.
Yeah, Connor Horn, Gavin
David
Rogers, Michael
Weishart.
Curhan, Joseph Cottle. Sebastian Mayer did get a piece of that. And then there were some black flags. Frankie Barroso,
On board
McCollum. I'm
Adam
not sure if they
Cabot.
were involved. Not sure if they were involved in the wreck, but they got black flags for some reason.
I mean, Adam Cabot, he was far enough back that I guess he still scraped the paint, but he managed to get through. But I guess I'll take blame for that, because I was just saying don't count our chickens that we'll get a clean restart, because I know how difficult it is. We just covered a race here on PTR TV yesterday, as a matter of fact, and restarts were not a walk in the park. Again, the 750 horsepower package, talked about the marbles and all that. So Sebastian Marin did get through that, yeah, he's in 10th. Did stay out as well. No, he pitted. Pardon me, he's pitting.
Yeah, he got some damage in that.
Oh,
he got
that
hit in the left rear and hit to the outside wall. So
Front bumper.
don't think it's
He's disconnected.
might
a
be
little bit.
optional repair. Might be optional repair. I don't think it's. He doesn't have a meatball, but Joseph Kazi, Punkari, those guys are down pit road again. Alex McCollum as well. Still has a black flag. Same with Frankie Barroso. I'm not sure what the reason for that is.
Yeah, we don't have an incident system here at all where you know you get a certain amount and we're disqualified or anything like that. So, but again, what I was talking about before, just watch the groove there. How dark was that track? And now it's basically a green track, and the marbles, just look how many there are. So, and that is the dynamicism of what we're racing on. And as you go slow under speeds, especially here on concrete, they just pull the rubber back up and put it back down. So I got to give iRacing credit. I give them a lot of heat, but I'm going to give them credit here. But we will get at least, no, we're on 1 to green. Lights out on the pace car. So the driver who I thought was going to have the restart issue there, Hunter, was not the one to have it. So hopefully this time through we can see what happens. But again, Tallmadge on those older tires, how will he manage?
Yeah, that is something to take into consideration. So we'll have to see. But he's in a really good spot. Like I said, the restart here at Dover, if you are the leader, you have the best time of your life because you can go wherever you want. It's in a very precarious spot right around the turn 4 exit. Unless you're Denny Hamlin, you had a few of those that somehow didn't go your way. The initial start didn't go his way, and then that last restart he had didn't go his way either. But for the most part, you should have a pretty clear launch. It's always been a talking point here for the last 15 years or so, the restart zone at Dover. So pace car is down. Jarrett Tallmadge going to lead the field back to green on the bottom, and we can just see right here the launch that he gets coming out of 4.
And there we go on the box, on the loud pedal, green flag back in the air, spread out Or so I thought. Talmadge, I thought, caught the jump, but then getting up through the gears. Here comes Seth Noel on the 2 tires. Kwame on the 4, driving right to the bottom. This is a good situation here to see what's going to happen. 4 versus 2 as they are 3 wide for a brief moment in the back.
Well, looks like the black flags got cleared for those parties that were given black flags for some reason last time around, because Frankie Barroso is still running in the 6th position, trying to get into the top 5. Drew Juo currently holds that spot in the 96 car. Logan Helton up to 7th. Cabot in 8th. I think he was the free pass recipient that last time through. We got a lot of slow cars here for some reason down the backstretch. Not sure what happened. We'll have to take a replay of that, Corey.
Yeah, Joseph Causey here did not have a favorable time entering. Oh, that was the 69 of Anna Sogak. Harbert slow. Gavin Rogers. Yeah, everyone was just on struggle street, but they all kept it straight. So Barney keeps a green flag, and we keep racing.
Yeah, and those guys were actually so far back. That was actually for position. Marin, Causey, they were back there, and that was for position, but this is also for position. Seth Dole and Kwame Scott, 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack. James Scally watching everything go down in 4th. Talmadge just logging laps at this point, trying to hope that the one doesn't get to him and that we don't get any more yellows to try and thwart his plans of winning today.
Now, his last lap, well, his subsequent last lap, well, 2 laps ago, he was only a 10th off his best lap of the race. Now, mind you, that is on, 27 lap tires, 17 laps older than anybody else in the field. So he's putting him up and throwing him down there. And Kwame Scott on those 4 tires, not able to really do anything with it. With Seth Noel and then James Scioli back there in the 7, also on 2. So, I mean, I guess what were we to say about tires, but will they hang on? Will we keep going green for 37 more laps? It's going to be difficult to say, but I want to thank everyone for tuning in here. Our race recap here on the evening thus far. 3 cautions for 10 laps. Jarrett Talmadge, you can see on those old tires, set the fastest lap of the race not that long ago. And remember, we were green for the first 80 some odd laps of tonight's race. While we are clean and green for now, we're going to never mind those Logan Helton, Jeremy Miller, Jake Nichols, tight quarters off the corner there. I lost a Hunter.
My mic was muted the whole time. I sound so stupid. Yeah, I was going to say bad place to be for Nichols, but now he's kind of like the mediator between the two, just trying to make sure they don't get into each other and wreck each other, bring out a yellow. But Jared Talmadge was talking about him. His best finish was 7th twice this season at Homestead and Rockingham. He's got Seth Dole breathing down his neck, but 35 laps left to try and score his first win of the season. But again, it's going to be tough. Seth Dole breathing down his neck, and he's hitting the wall. Not good either.
Yeah, I hit the wall a few times, and now we're in that situation of a little bit of aero blocking and a little bit of momentum chasing here. Which one's going to come to play? Hitting the wall off of 2, knocking off of 4, not going to help. Seth Noel drives to the inside, and will he be able to clear? Answer is yes. That contact with the wall off of 4 stunted his momentum enough. Noel had it. Well, Seth Noel had it, but now what can Kwame do? Can he get by, or are those 2 tires going to drive off into the proverbial sunset?
I think Kwame Scott's still going to have time, but he's going to have to get around this 07 pretty quick because that's just another obstacle in his way. Lap time, he ran a 23.8 compared to a 23.9 from Talmadge, so he is faster than him. And the clean air, pretty crucial. Seth Noel 23.5 that last time through, being the leader. And back here, again, this is for position, although they are behind most of the field. Oh, we're wrecking. The yellow's going to come
John
out.
Forbes. So that'll put us under, I believe, our 4th caution of the race. John Forbes Jr. off of turn number 4. Let's try to deduce what happened to Mr. John. So Garrett Grant, pretty clear as day there. Just 2 cars, 1 spot.
I would assume everybody would come down pit road this time through. I think Cole Hooper is going to be the free pass car as well, especially knowing how important tires are, whether it's 2 or 4. I think Talmadge definitely is coming down pit road. Everybody else, I wouldn't even risk staying out just after seeing what happened there. But what do I know? But Seth Knowles in a good spot. He's the leader. Talmadge second. Kwame Scott third.
Now, tough call here. I mean, obviously Talmadge, he's in a kind of a really bad pickle because he knows he's on the oldest tires. He now has lost control of the race, but there's not a lot of laps left to try and work through here, and he's going to come. Oh, he got snookered. He got snookered, Seth Noel. Seth Noel, I'll get it right, but he got snookered. Everyone coming to the pits. He is like ACOD. He is so lonely, and he only has about 2 or 3 drivers to call his own.
Well, he's in a rough spot now, so we'll have to see who's going to be in the best spot here coming out of pit road. Not sure who that would be, the lucky recipient of that, but Noel will have a lot on his plate. It is Scioli in the 7. Wow.
Now, Scioli took two tires the first, one caution ago, and he backed it up with 2 tires. Kwame, everyone basically took 2 tires. You have to go back to Jarrett Talmadge to find 4 tires, and he's going to be in 7th spot.
Unfortunately, he had to take 4. He can't do 2 with 60-some lap old tires, or I don't think it was 60, but it was a lot older than the rest of the field. I think it was closer to 38 maybe, but Cole Hooper, the free pass car, so he's going to be in the battle for a top 10. Logan Helton, Marin, Tyler Nichols, Causey, they're on pit road as well. Got to shout out Brent Bucari as well. That caution early in the go, and it came out at a great time for him. Looking to get a career best finish, I want to say. I'm going to have to double check on that, but he's running really well. Could get a top 10 finish today.
That would be pretty good for Brett. It's obviously someone who had a difficult start to the season, but trying to make things happen here as we will take 1 to go. We do have 14 drivers on the lead lap, the last of which being Sebastian Marin. It looked as though he mainly got through that wreck, but obviously a little bit more impact to it than met our original eye here. As we'll come off turn number 2. It's funny how Noel and Scioli, 2 drivers who weren't really that competitive in the opening stage of the race, and look where they are at crunch time.
That matters most, and I want to say, so Brett McCarry, his best finish was 11th, and that came at Bristol. So ironically, a concrete track, probably to his liking, although this one is a different scenario. So pace car is in this time through. The leader, Seth Noel, going to restart on the bottom. Skyler will be on the outside, and we'll have close to 25 laps to go at Dover.
That is only about 10 minutes of racing, so this race is almost over. Got to make it happen. The time is now as Drew Jua goes and clears for P2. Remember, Drew Jua had that win at Michigan snatched away by a lack of fuel off turn number 4. He's hungry to try to get that 96 into victory lane and get himself some justice. Does he have something to battle with for the 96, and will we make it to the end? That back of the pack is spicy. Somebody will hit down to the bottom, getting out of the way. As
Tyler Nichols? No, probably not. But, yeah, they are really bouncing off the wall here. I was going to say, Frankie Barroso that last time through, looking for his first top 5 of the year. He was bouncing off the wall, and Francari blinking in and out there, but he's running in 8th, and gosh, every time I look back, these guys are bouncing off the wall. But up front, Scioli and Kwame Scott battle for the podium position. Door to door coming out of 2. they're going to be in a rough spot because Frankie Barroso is catching them in a hurry.
Frankie Barroso, again, he has not had too much on the stat sheet to show, but a lot of consistency. That's why he is currently in the chase bubble right now and trying to get himself in a higher spot than that. Kwame Scott, he has led so much of this race up to third, 66 laps in the third spot. I mean, there might be enough time, especially if Jua can make something happen and get to Noel, get them racing. Maybe there's time for them to be able to get Kwame back in the mix here, but Jua is holding a pretty good pace, running that different lane, Hunter, to try to make something happen.
Indeed, as he is running in the second spot, he's got a pretty good shot here, nearing 20 to go, running that outside lane, trying to carry that momentum through 3 and 4 with Seth Knoll on the older tires. Skyoli and Kwame Scott were duking out for third, but Scott will hold on to that spot as Jua is still trying to roll the outside, but Knoll trying to do a little mirror blocking.
So we have basically Seth Knoll. I was doing so well with that. I don't know why I butchered all of a sudden, but never mind. I'll pause that thought. Sebastian. Oh, we got a junkyard on the backstretch. Hayden Swank.
Yeah, it's a pile up back there, so we'll have to get that one sorted out.
Yeah, just a jiffy here. Try to cue this up. Sebastian Marin. Hayden Swank here on the backstretch. Sebastian all the way to the top of the racetrack. Oh no, it was ahead of that. 83. Oh my God. David Brown, 16. Rocky Boyd. So they were just in the
Miles was
back.
definitely hungry. I think Miles was a little too full from yesterday's cup event, but now his digestive system has worked because holy cow, this is a big one.
Yeah, they were 3 wide for a brief moment, which put Rocky Boyd in a less than favorable position, and then once they all came together there, clogged up the backstretch. So Sebastian not gonna have the day here at Dover that he would have liked. I don't think he actually even led a lap at all here today. So unfortunate for him, but again, now we're closing in on the back end of this race, and Knoll on those much older tires as Jake Nichols rounds the outside. Those older tires, those 2 fresh tires on the number 36, the 2 fresh tires on the 96, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough of a difference for it to matter here in the grand scheme.
I think the run need to go a bit longer for that to work in Drew Jua's favor, but we'll have to see here. But Jua is still looking for his first win in the area. He's got a pole at Talladega, but he's finished second 3 times in his career, all happening in Season 6. That happened at Texas, Pocono, and Indianapolis. He finished third at Michigan this season, that marking his only top 5 and top 10 of the year. But in a prime position to get another one, as Jake Nichols, Michael Curran, a lot of these guys coming down pit road. I'm not even sure how many cars we have on the lead lap anymore. It's been chaotic. I think we only have 15.
13 cars on the lead lap now, as this is kind of what Dover used to be back in the day. Now, mind you, it was more because of green flag runs in the real world that would lead to 100, 200 lap runs, and the leader would just lap half the field. But it's a little bit different here today. But still going to be very interested to see what can happen up front. Again, the first driver on full 4 fresh tires is going to be Talmadge outside of row 3. But Drew Jua will be on the inside lane. Seth Noel choosing the outside, which is not the most common call here at Dover, but we'll see if he can make it happen and, again, minimize that wheel spin.
Yeah, want to do that. Don't want a lot of wheel spin, otherwise it's going to put you in a really bad spot. But Seth Knoll, very good spot, although, like I said, outside lane, that's going to be really different. Don't see that too often at Dover, but I guess it's to prevent the ones with fresher tires behind, like James Scioli and Kwame Scott as well. But Jared Talmadge, 4 tires on the inside. Actually, no, on the outside. Either way, we're coming back green.
Absolutely back on the loud pedal, and everybody gets up to speed successfully. But Drew Jua, I don't know if he missed a shift or something, just did not get up to speed. Now he's in the middle of a say with Talmadge to the top. Kwame looking to the bottom, but just lost the momentum, and he'll try to pull back in line. He will. And that will give the gap to P1 and 2. Drua in second. Noel up front. And now, who is that? Scioli in second.
Scioli in a real good spot to walk away with a win here, as Talmadge trying to hold on to 4th. Kwame Scott going on the bottom, going to clear him, coming out of 2. So the 36 of Scott's up to 4th, and he's trying to get around Drew Jua for 3rd. Talmadge fighting back on the bottom as Frankie Barroso, Adam Cabot continue to duke it out outside of the top 5. Guys getting close because they know that we're coming up on the end of the race here. Sebastian Marin holding that 8th position, trying to go up to 7th. Logan Helton holds 9th, and then Brett Hunkari for the time being holds 10th. Cole Hooper trying to get around him on the bottom.
And I am just flabbergasted that Sebastian Marin, with all that he has been through, he was just backwards. With all that he has been through, he is still in the top 10 and with a head of steam. I mean, he is a second and a half back on 4 fresh tires. Crazier things have happened. I mean, it's not in the cards for Sebastian to win this, but if caution sequences work in his favor, hell, anything is possible here. But right now, he's stacked up in 7th, and Seth Knoll is up by 3/10 over Scioli.
Yeah, Scioli's trying to do everything he can to navigate his way towards the one of Knoll, but Knoll staying out with those older tires proved to be a big dividend. Again, needed that longer run to go into the favor of Drew Jua there that last time through, but Drew will have to try to hold on to 3rd right now. Kwame Scott's nearing closer and closer to him, as the 1's just continuing to log laps here. The 7's trying to get dialed in. They're door-to-door for the top 5. That's Marin on the bottom. 2 purple cards being no 7 of Talmadge on the outside, trying to work their way through. And the 66 trying to get a quarter panel close, but he'll have the outside lane, and Talmadge will have the bottom in the 1.
And that's not where you're going to want to be. Oh, I thought he was going to wrap the top there, but now he's going to cross over, go to the bottom, and bingo card check. He's going to do a diver, the Dover diver. There it goes. He has patented that here today. Move him up to 5th. He's 2 seconds nearly off.
They touch.
Yeah, Talmadge not giving up.
They touch coming out of 4 because Talmadge was trying to cross him over as well. And it looks like Cabot trying to do the same behind as they continue to duke it out. Marin is now clear for 5th, and Kwame Scott again all over the bumper of Drew Jua for that 3rd position. He's trying to get around him very efficiently because we got 10 laps to go, and Seth Knoll still by 4 car lengths in front of James Scioli, and Kwame Scott just trying to find some way to get around the 96 of Drew Jua.
Yeah, he does not want to look in the mirror, because that's where Sebastian is in the 5th spot. As at this point, I think everyone's either just saying, a couple people are probably saying green, green, green. I think the only person maybe hoping for a caution is that 66, just to get him restacked up with a chance to make an optimistic dive. But up front, basically even lap times for the top 2. Last time by, Scioli 4/100ths of a second faster. That's not going to be enough to put any charge into it. And they're running very similar lines, so this might be a little nice ride to the end. But actually, no, Scioli got a good run off of 4.
Yeah, he's been working on that outside lane the last couple of laps, at least through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Did some of the same right there, and he's starting to find a rhythm. He's closing the gap to him and Seth Knoll. And the 1 keeping the 7 in his rear view mirror as we have 7 laps to go when we get to the line. But Scioli has found something working. Might hit the wall, but it's working.
Now, I don't know if this is the commonality, but I just went on board. I heard his audio. He is shifting, so I don't know if that's the normality here, but maybe that's the last second charge, the last Hail Mary attempt he's throwing at it here, as Kwame's still trying to get by Drew Jua, but stuck in that bubble of 0.2 of a second back. I mean, I guess he probably could go a little higher to see if he can get some more run up there, but actually he may not need it. because he got a pretty good run off of 4. Let's see if he can sustain it. Can he get the same run off of 2? Running out of laps, he's going to have to get it if he's going to have a chance.
They're door-to-door for a third, nearly touching down the backstretch. Juju on the outside, Kwame Scott on the inside, trying to send it deep. He can't quite clear him, although he gasses up through 4. He's going to clear the 96 of Juju. 6 laps remaining, now down to 5. Kwame Scott trying to reel in the front 2, while Scioli trying to get the 1 of Seth Knoll, although he had a real bad 1 and 2 that time through, but picks it back up on exit.
Absolutely. Now we have a solar flare race for the win here at Dover. Team points will be happy. Of course, having the team doing 1 and 2, but you obviously want to be the one on the top of the podium. There's no hitting the wall off of 4, but that's been the normality here today. Now they're both going to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to sacrifice that clean air on the 7, but he still managed to find some bite down there.
He's reeled him in with 3 to go. He's close enough to where the 1's trying to pick his every line. He runs higher up through 3 and 4. The 7's still going to gain on corner exit. Just 3 laps remaining from the Monster Mile, and Seth Knoll trying to keep his teammate of James Scioli at bay, blocking his line through 1 and 2.
Taking that dirty air away. Is the 7 going to go back to the top? Or is Knoll going to go up there and try to play defense? Where do you want to run here? He's going to go high, and Scioli's going to go higher. Will the run come to fruition off of corner exit? A little bit of slower traffic in front. 2 laps to go.
Scioli's going to have a couple more opportunities to get it done, but this lap car being in the way, it's not going to be an opportune time for Seth Knoll. He parks it in front of Knoll. Here comes Scioli all over his bumper. He's going to have one more shot to do it, one more lap to get it done. He's going to look to the inside of the 1. They're going to be door-to-door off of 4. Seth Knoll going to lead at the line. Will he lead the next one? White flag out from Dover.
One more lap around Dover. Can Knoll hang on? Scioli right to the rear bumper. Had a chance through the lap traffic, but Knoll hanging on by a fender. Coming off of 4. A little wiggle going to the inside. Giving him the outside lane. Is that what he needs? Here comes Scioli trying to get the run. Can he cross over and get a run to the line? The answer is no. Knoll hangs on at Dover, and he hits the wall at start-finish.
Well, he nearly lost it coming out of 4, smacking that wall. Got a little bit sideways there, but an unbelievable drive from Seth Knoll. That lap car almost playing a factor into it. Almost gave the win to James Scioli. We'll have to take a look at that, too, because that almost cost them the race.
Yeah, right behind Rocky Boyd off of Egg. That's what gave Scioli the opportunity to get by here, or to get close, and I don't think that's where Scioli wanted to be. I don't think he wanted to be on the bottom of the racetrack there. I think he would have rather had the top. Knoll had it, though. But then, just watch here through that last lap, and I didn't think he was going to have a chance. He got to the rear deck lid off of 2, managed to drive, and again, let's just watch Knoll just about Terry Labonte the fence here at Bristol back in 95. Hit the wall off of 4. That's one way to finish a race.
Unreal way to finish the race. I mean, phenomenal job from Seth Knoll. I mean, the yellows played out into his favor. The pit strategy played out into his favor. 48 laps from 2 sets of tires. We don't know how long the other 2 tires were on for, but it was enough to hold on for victory, and Seth Knoll gets it done here from the Monster Mile. He leads by almost a car length of a second, wins by a car length over James Scioli. Kwame Scott going to settle with 3rd. Sebastian Marin got up to 4th. Juju down to 5th. Adam Cabot, Jared Talmadge, Frankie Barroso, Logan Helton, and Cole Hooper round out the top 10.
We'll go back to the next page of results here. You'll find Jake Nichols with Reese Schaefer in 12th. Brent Pancari couldn't quite sustain the top 10. He's in 13th. Joseph Causey, Tyler Nichols, Gavin Rogers, AJ Stravado, Lake Branchard, the Moose. Haven't really talked about him in 19th. Garrett Grant in 20th. And most everybody here on out had some significant issues over the course of the race, or was caught and never recovered from that caution sequence. So Jacob Bell back there. Again, Travis Beckner, not a good day. Alex McCullum, 153 laps down. And we don't quite know what happened to Dylan Alt, but he ended up finishing 42nd here. He took the green, but never finished a lap. But I think Hunter has ran down to the Dover Speedway pit lane. You found yourself on the front stretch yesterday, so you're quite aware of the geographics of it, and he has caught up with Seth.
Yeah, it's pretty steep, but here with Seth Knoll, I'm just looking at it now. The last time we were here, you won, so I shouldn't be surprised that you won again, but I guess just in the fashion that you did it was unbelievable. Take me through those last few laps whenever... actually, first off, take me through when that lap car pretty much parked it on you coming out of 2, coming to the 1 to go.
Yeah, I don't know what Rocky was doing. He was completely unpredictable in 1 and 2. Thankfully, I had a teammate behind me that was not really just going to throttle through me when that was going on. So thank you to James for not just completely killing me when that was going on. But the JWR race cars was flying, especially on the long run. Like, I don't know how much y'all saw it in the first round, but once we got to about lap 50, we were just mowing them down. It was a lot of fun. It was like 25 laps, 30 laps before we pitted, and the yellow came out. But yeah, old tires, hang on.
Yeah, so take me through your pit strategy, because one of those yellows, everybody did the opposite of you. They all came in, you stayed out, but ultimately your strategy worked in the end. What was that call like? Because I know that's got to be a little stressful being the leader, and if you go one way, they go the other. So take me through your thought process on that.
Yeah, I honestly thought we were screwed. Being the only person to do it, we had just seen Tylematch had held on for, I think it was about 10 laps. So I knew that I was going to last a couple laps and just hope that we just rolled through some yellows. Because I believe that's what happened last time we were here, and that's why I won last time. But we got that timely yellow when Drew was on my butt, and we're able to get the recycle on the tires and then just kind of hold on for dear life with Rocky the Lapper.
All right, well, it's your first win since Homestead, so win number 2 on the year for you, Seth. Congrats on the victory.
All right, thank you, guys.
And then close but no cigar here. We got James Scaoli with the second. Well, the door almost opened with that issue with Rocky Boyd off of turn number 2, but obviously teammate respect there. You didn't force the issue, but was there anything you could have done differently, or was that just all she was going to write here tonight?
I mean, I'm sure looking back at it, there's probably a couple things I could have done differently, but I was pretty happy with how I was managing it. There just seemed to be something about having 2 heat cycles on the tires where, Seth stayed out, we had a short run, and then he got another caution, and just that second heat cycle, for whatever reason, just kind of seemed to reset him enough to where he was able to have enough grip to hang on, and did a good enough job aero blocking me to where I could never actually, kind of grab his left rear going down the straightaway and actually get a good slide job or anything on him. So, I mean, he got out front, he played it perfectly, exactly like he needed to. I was right where I wanted to be, kind of a little bit more on the offense with a little bit better right side tires, just unfortunately didn't quite have enough there.
Yeah, not enough, but obviously points day, team day, all going to be good. Now just kind of talk about Dover in general. Of course, we're here with a different package. iRacing has really enhanced the dynamic track system. How much different or more enjoyable, more frustrating? What was your opinion of Dover here in this kind of new situation here for 2026?
Yeah, I thought that the dynamic track rolled pretty good. I do wish that the setup were a little bit looser overall. We were still just kind of getting tight on the long runs, making it tough. Once you did finally bridge the gap and get to the car in front of you, once you got to their inside, it was still just tough to make a move. So I think all in all, we've gone in the right directions, especially on the dynamic track. Like to see some changes come to the tire a little bit, and definitely would like some looser setups, but I mean, that's also just kind of personal preference there. So I thought it was pretty good though. Once we got that initial long run, I kind of fell back, got a bit slowed down on the start. Somebody got a little bit loose on the bottom lane and just kind of put me on the back foot for the first couple laps. Just everybody was passing me on the outside. So once I finally settled in, I was able to make some passes and felt pretty good about moving forward. You just got to get a lot of laps on the tires before you can do that.
And Dover, a long run track indeed, and we got it to start the race, maybe not to finish, but either way, great run for you. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Darlington, but I'll give you the floor for any shouts that you want to offer.
Yeah, first off, big shout out to you guys for capturing these races. I feel like I've been a part of a lot of the exciting ones this season, so that's been fun. Even finishing second like this, it's still just fun to be out front racing for wins and brawling, especially with the teammates. So huge shout out to Seth. He did everything that he needed to. Like you said, great team points day, and should still be leading the drivers' points as well. So pretty pumped on that. Big shout out to the admin team. Thanks for everything that they do. And shout out to JWR Race Cars, Sim Speed Shop, Solar Flare Racing, and hopefully we're talking to you guys again after the break.
Absolutely. Great run. Good, fun to watch. As you said, you've been giving us some good stuff to watch, and we'll look forward to it in the future. Good job.
I'm trying. Thanks, guys.
Now wrapping up the podium, Kwame Scott has led 66 laps, but unfortunately not the right one. He's up there with Hunter.
Yeah, here with Kwame Scott on pit road. Led the most laps, but finished where you started tonight, Kwame. It seemed like the race was going in your favor, and then that caution came out at an inopportune time, and it kind of shook things up from there. Take me through your thoughts on the process of that after the first caution came out.
Well, I mean, the first caution actually was pretty cool. It was just the rest of them after that. The second caution that came out, I didn't take 2 tires, so it kind of cycled me behind, Seth and Skyly and some of those guys. So, I finally lost my clean air, and wow, it's really tough to pass here. I probably should have just taken 2 to keep that track position. I didn't think 2 was going to work as well as it did, it being Dover, but yeah, clearly I was wrong.
Yeah, then take me through your thoughts on the dynamic track model that we have here at Dover. Skyly said it was fun for the most part. They got to tweak a few things out, but from up here, Kwame, it seemed like the racing was full on from start to finish tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean it's Dover, so Dover is basically my home track, so I just dynamic track or not, I'm always just gonna love racing here. It's really cool how it widens up. Just like how it does in real life. I think it's definitely one of the best on the sim right now for sure.
Yeah, I can admit to that. It was pretty fun to watch yesterday from the stands. But congrats on the podium finish, Kwame. Hope to see you back soon. Hopefully next week. I'm not sure what your plans are, but glad to see you back.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Thanks.
All right, well, that'll wrap things up here from the Monster Mile. 80 some odd laps of green flag racing, Hunter, and then we always find ourselves into what tonight was the teammate grandstand finish here. We've been looking out with some phenomenal area racing this season.
Yeah, it's been a blast. At least tonight was a blast. I mean, from start to finish, that was just a phenomenal race to watch. Had a lot of everything in between. Had some guys that were front runners, dropped to the back, couldn't find their way back up front. But then again, some guys that caught breaks from the yellows, like Seth Knoll, James Skyly. They were running mid-pack at some point, but yellows came out. It worked in their favor. Pitch strategy worked out for them, and they ended up 1-2. Kwame Scott, the dominant driver of the night, unfortunately did not get the win, but still got a good podium finish for that. But yeah, for the most part, things worked out well for those first 3, I should say. Skyly with an 8-point lead over Seth Knoll, who jumps up to 2nd. Jake Nichols down 3rd in points. Van Drugman 4th. Logan Helton found himself in a good spot with a 9th place finish. He jumps up to 5th in the standings. Connor Horn, not so much, down in 6th. John Forbes Jr., Jared Talmadge, Drew Jua, Frankie Barroso jumped up to 10th in the point standings with his 2nd top 10 of the year. Reese Schaefer in 11th, and then Michael Curran drops down to 12th as the final driver in the chase, with Gavin Rogers only behind by 6 points.
Things are certainly tightening on up here as we close on in. Of course, 2 more races here at Dover. The Trucks and the Florida State Builders Pro Series will be live here, so stay tuned for that and other content here on PTR TV as we get our run to the chase. And then after this, we'll have a week off for Memorial Day, and we'll be back at Darlington first week of June. That's going to be Corey and Hunter signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.